In literally 10 days, I made this coach with only 2.5k followers, over 12k, using something I like to call medium stacking, which is something that I don't see a lot of people take advantage of in today's market. And even the ones that are using it, they don't even understand it, or they don't know how to use it right? And so that is a problem, because the info and coaching space online there is a massive trust recession right now. And so all the coaches that are posting every single day, right, they're just barely keeping their heads above the water, right? They're just barely surviving, and they're missing out on hundreds, even tens of thousands of dollars every single month, because they simply are not making use of these mediums which you can sell through, right? And so they don't have the Instagram structure, they don't have the proper YouTube structure, and are not using emails the right way. They aren't even utilizing things like WhatsApp to nurture leads and convert them into paying clients every single month, right? So this brings inconsistency to the lead flow, right? Inconsistency to the cash flow as well. So these coaches rely on Instagram, and when they do get lucky, right, they go viral a few times and they make a decent amount of money, right? And even if they already have a system in place to convert those leads into cash flow, right, but the next month the cash flow tanks, and they don't realize that that's not a content issue, that's not a platform issue, but it's their lack of resourcefulness, right? They just simply don't know how to utilize all these platforms and mediums correctly, right? So lucky for you, today I have the solution for you, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you how to properly post on Instagram to get views that actually buy, right? How to build likability, trust, and authority in this trust recession economy. And I'm going to show you the exact story campaign, right? The proper story strategy that generated over $1,000 per day for me, for this client, which I don't, see a lot of people doing. And so in this space right now, I'll show you our exact email strategy that builds trust, scarcity, and urgency, that gets people to take action by nurturing all the views that you collect all throughout these platforms, right? All of these platforms, and turning them into booked calls, right? So once again, this is stuff that has generated over 12k in literally 10 days for a brand new coaching offer. And this creator only had 2.5k followers on Instagram, right? So do not sleep on this stuff, right? I will not hold anything back, and I'll give you all of this away for free. And I'll be honest, I spent over 18k on a span of 3 years, over a span of 3 years of my life, learning all these things piece by piece from different mentorships. I'm going to put it out here for free, and all I ask is that you give me a like and a sub if you like this stuff, right? So honestly, by the end of this video, right, you will know exactly how to build pressure, hype, FOMO, and build and launch an offer that people will rush to buy, right? And whatever it is that you want to sell, as long as you follow these simple stacking procedures and stacking rules, you will make a lot of money with your coaching, right? So let's get started, right? So this is exactly how we used medium stacking to help this UGC coach with only 2,000 followers make over 12k in just 10 days alone, all organically, right? So as you can see right here, everything was organic, and we only used the organic mediums that we had available to us. And so as you can see, she only had 2.5k followers, and so before us and then after, we helped grow her account to over 36,000 followers, and we collected a little over 12k, right, in cash, and 2.2k in monthly recurring revenue. And so this is exactly how we did it. So before us, she was making on average roughly 1k per month on average, right? There was no funnel in place, there was no content strategy, no DM strategy, there was no story campaign strategy as well. She was making good money with her main business, that is UGC, but she was really struggling with her coaching business, right? So she was spamming flash sales and discounts on her story to hopefully get a $300 sale if she was lucky for the week or the entire month. And after we came in, we completely took over her entire funnel. We implemented new robust content strategy, new VSL, and tighter funnels, clever story campaigns, and she only focused on her content and UGC, and barely spent about 2 to 3 hours per week on her coaching. And so we took care of everything else for her, from backend setup to automations, sales, and copies, everything, you name it, right? We took care of all of it. And so this is exactly how we did it. So the first pillar and the first medium is content, right? It's very, very important. And so the way we did it was, there's 3 different types of content that we focused on. And the first one was the value plus the CTA. So that's where she talked about a specific problem, gave a specific solution, why that solution worked, and then CTA at the end, right? Now, this type of content is to position herself as the leader and the authoritative figure in her niche, and that she knew what she was talking about, right? So the alignment content is next. Now, this is where we build likability, trust, right? And so she'll talk about some common misconception in her niche, or some of her struggles, her wins, her losses, right? Just to show that she is a fun, normal human being, right? Rather than the well-polished person that they always see in front of the camera, right? So this is to build likability and to get people to align with her views, values, and the vision for her brand, right? So that's really, really cool. And the next one is the authority plus the CTA. Right now, this is where we convert people, right? So this is where she would talk about a specific problem, right? She would show client results, and she would also speak about some issues that one of her clients may have had, and then what was the specific solution she recommended, and what was the result that she got, or they got, as a result of implementing that said solution, right? And then a CTA at the end, right? So On top of that, we also used top of funnel content. Now, these are the types of content that were purely bred for virality, right? So may or may not do any have anything to do with a niche, right? But this is where you spam flashy stuff, right? Anything to get as much new views as possible. And then once again, we would go back to using these very important three formats of content to, for example, the value plus the CTA to warm people, qualify them, and then the alignment content to get people to align with her, to relate with her, and to like her, right, and build likability and trust, and then the authoritative content to convert them, right. Now, after that, this is the next medium, right. So most people I see only, maybe if they know how to use the story, they only use it for sales, right, to sell something, but you can also use it to conduct very, very strong market research, right. So this is where, and this is how you use your stories. Now, so what we did was we used stories first to conduct research, right. So most people skip this phase, which is the research phase. They'll go ahead and build something that no one even asked for, right. So you want to make sure that you ask your own audience what they really struggle with, what they want, right, in their journey, so that way you understand what exactly they struggle with. And when you create something that the market actually needs and wants, right. So the way we did it is I posted on the Instagram stories and say, hey, I'm building something big, right, and it's coming in the next month or so, right. And I'm giving away, right, it's something really cool that I've been working very closely on, and it's going to help a lot of you in your UGC journey. So I am giving away 3 videos that are valued at $2,000 for free inside this model. So if you want it, comment me the keyword, and I will DM me the keyword, and I'll send it over to you, right. So that's how we got people into the DMs, and then from the DMs we send them to a type form where they answered a few very simple questions regarding what are their pain points, what they really struggle with, and what are some of the results that they're looking for, and what do they want in a potential coach if they want to get coaching from someone, right. So that way we understood what their pain points were, what they really struggled with, what kept them up at night, and so that way we can create something that they really needed. And so from there we send them to a free WhatsApp community, right. So that way we can send the message in one channel so that everybody can see it at the same time, right. So we send them to a WhatsApp group chat where the creator herself was super active, sending valuable stuff, sending free guides, sending free stuff, lead magnets that she would send it here for free because those were her VIP people. And she would post anything, just giving away free value and answering any questions that they would have had. From here, this is exactly how we use the research information. So I downloaded all the type form information that we collected through the research, and also we got a couple of people on a Zoom call with us, and so we downloaded those, right. So that way the Zoom call is very important because we try to understand how they speak, right. So how the people think and speak in this niche, and so that way we can speak their language, we can think like them, right. So that we can really get into their mindset and what they really struggle with, and what keeps them up at night. So using those information, I pump them into ChatGPT, not to do all the work for me, but to help me come up with a general ICP, right, ideal customer avatar for us in this niche, right. So using that information, I literally sat down and wrote out the VSL word for word, right. It took me a couple of hours and we wrote this out, and using those VSL scripts, and also it helped us write warm-up copies, the launch copies, and after launch all email copies as well. So with the warm-up copies, we wrote up emails for free values. We give away free values, right, and then at the end we would say, PS, something big is coming on August 30th. That was the launch date, right. So we kept spamming and talking about the launch date. So make sure that people really had that ingrained in their memories, right. So something big is coming on that date, so they had that in their brains locked in. And then for the launch emails, we wrote some for 3 days before the launch, 2 days before the launch, 1 day before the launch, 3 hours before the launch, 1 hour before the launch, and 5 minutes before the launch, and then actually during the launch. And after the launch, we had 3 hours after the launch, 1 day after the launch, and every day for the next 10 days. So as you can see, while I was working on this one, what the coach did was the creator herself, she was building out the course material, right. So this was very simple. She already had the information from the market research, but so at this point she was literally answering all the questions they had and then put them into course modules, right. So it's very simple for her. All she had to do was just answer a few questions because she already knew what the market really wanted. And then I took that opportunity to additionally build on the email list that we already had, right. So credits to the creator, she already had a few really good lead magnets that she already created. So I used those, promoted those in the Instagram reels and on the stories to collect more emails for the email list. And then I also promoted the email list on the story as well. And also at the same time, we sent out emails, sent out the free value, and at the end, something big is coming, right? If you want it, join the VIP list and you will get these 3 for free, right, valued at $2,000, right? So that way we kept on building the email list. And then 1 day before the launch, something really cool that we did was we gave away a free sneak peek of the entire thing that we were working on, right? So that way we talked about what the features were, what they were going to get, what were some of the things, what it would look like, right? So we were just basically hyping and teasing and giving free sneak peeks, so that we were basically blew blue balling these people, man, and creating FOMO and hype as much as possible, right? So that way we can later capitalize on all the momentum that we built, right? So that's very important, right? So one day before the launch, here's a quick sneak peek, right? And we send it inside the group WhatsApp group chat. We send it through the emails as well and on the stories, right? So that's how you utilize all the mediums, like I said, right? So for the launch, this is the entire launch sequence from start to finish. So this is what it looks like, right? So what we did on the launch day was we posted on the Instagram story, we sent a message into the WhatsApp group chat and sent out on the email list as well. So that way people will hit in all 3 different platforms, all 3 different mediums, right? So that way they can all see it and they can take action. And so what we did was we are live now for the Instagram story. We are live now, right? Click this link, join us now, because we have built so much FOMO and hype and this, and also we created scarcity by saying there's only 10 spots open, so get in now, get your VIP spot, reserve your spot. So people really rushed in, and we actually booked out on the first few days actually. And so for the offer, this would be a very long video if I try to go in on the offer itself. It should be a video for itself, but just to cover it as fast as possible, what we did was, instead of saying, make 10K per month with UGC, we kind of understood that people were already, some people were already burnt out with this make money with UGC thing. So we tried a new opportunity, a new angle, a new mechanism, which was we went in on the strong personal brand angle, right? So you make your first, 10K per month, right? Get 2 to 4 paid deals a month in 90 days with a strong personal brand, right? So we were going to help them build a strong personal brand that we're going to make money for them, right? So from there, that was the offer. And, we had the VSL on the landing page, and then they filled out their type form, and then they booked a call, and then we sent them to a group chat that was with me, right? So I would get them into the group chat, send them few information, answered any questions, any base level questions that they had, so that on the call they come with the actual questions that really matter, right? So I warmed them up. I sent them some free information about the offer itself, so that they, if they had any doubts or any questions, you would eliminate all those before the call, right? So they came on the call, and I personally closed over 12K in literally a span of 10 days myself, because I was so involved in this, and I made sure that the launch went well. So closed a little over 12K in literally 10 days from that high ticket coaching, right? So once again, this is the first coaching that she had ever done, right? And so after the launch, we sent out 3 emails 3 hours after the launch, 1 day after the launch, and like I said, every day for the next 10 days, right? So so this is the exact 10-day launch sequence that we put in place. So like I said, we gave the free value as promised, right? So the 3 videos that we promised them, we send them 1 per day, and if they want more, if they want to work with us one-on-one, right, here's your opportunity, take action here, right? So we put the link in there, and also we created urgency by saying, the gates are closing very, very soon, right? We've got this, 24 hours left, 2 days left, right? So we went all in on the FOMO, right? The fear of missing out, and creating hype, and we kept teasing. And also what we did was, right, something really cool that we did was we showed other people that had already joined, right? Because people are crowd followers, right? They tend to follow the crowd. What we did was, we showed them that other people have already joined. They're very happy. This really pushed them to take action, right? They felt like they were going to left behind. So that kind of advised or incentivized them to take action, right? So when the gates actually closed, right, when we announced that the gates actually closed, we posted on the Instagram story, we posted inside the WhatsApp group chat, and also sent out emails as well. And then what we did was we pivoted to promoting the low ticket offer, right? So for some reason, if you were not able to get into the high ticket, right, in the one-on-one program with us, right, because of financial reasons or any other reasons, you still have an opportunity to get into this thing and work with us, right? Work very closely with us, and we really promoted the low ticket offer. And so we, in the first 2 days or so that we did that, we collected over 2.2K in monthly recurring revenue with a $37 a month product, right? So after the gates closed, again, we sent out 3 emails 3 hours after the launch, 1 day after the launch, and 10 day every day after the launch, promoting the low ticket offer, right? So that's exactly how we collected an additional 2.2K in monthly recurring revenue. And so after that, this is our I'm going to show you the exact warm-up sequence, right? So if you want to use emails, if you want to know how to use emails the right way, this is how you do it. So we have the warm-up sequence. So what we did was inside the WhatsApp group chat, like I said, the creator herself was super active, right? So she posted posts, sent free information, free value as much as possible, so that people really want to see what the paid thing actually looks like, right? So we gave out do the good thing, right? Just give out as much free value as possible. And yeah, we gave out a lot of free value, and similarly with the emails as well, we gave away free value, and then we teased the main thing at the end, right? Something big is coming on this date, right? So we kept teasing and we kept hyping it up, and then on the actual launch date, like I said, one day before that launch date, we posted a a sneak peek video, right? Sending people to watch the video, get them to hype up, and really build FOMO and hype and tension, so that when we actually do the launch, we capitalize on all the momentum that we've built so far, right? And then we tease, and then we do the CTA at the end. And that is how we used medium stacking to collect over 12K for a very new coach and a very new coaching offer that we launched, right? In literally the 10 days, we collected over 12K from only 2.5K Instagram followers, right? By medium stacking, right? So we made use of emails, we made use of Instagram stories, Instagram reels, right? And all these free organic mediums that we can. So this is exactly how you make use of the different types of medium, right? So if you are only relying on Instagram reels, right, you might get lucky, one of your videos might pop off, and you might get some sales, right, if you're lucky, and if you already have the systems in place. And then the next few weeks, once the views stop coming in, right, your views tank and your cash flow tanks as well. So to maintain consistency in your cash flow, you want to be able to master, or you want to be able to at least know how to medium stack and use all these platforms to your advantage, right? So if you're a coach watching this and you want to work with us and you want to be able to use all that you have at your disposal to make as much money as possible and to make consistent revenue with your high ticket coaching program, book a call with us, right? There's a link below this video. You can book a call with me directly, and I'll give you a free business audit, right? So you can do that. Or other than that, if you found this video very valuable, I would all I would ask in return is just like this video and give me a sub, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.